So now we're in the rat race around the Beltway of the Virginia, Maryland, DC area. And not too bad, but still early. So think about this. On the Cybertruck, you see how the steering wheel in my hand? The new Cybertruck is one of the first, supposedly, that's fly-by-the-wire steering. Meaning that basically the computer is steering the car. And in so many ways today it does anyways through electric steering. But this new technology of fly-by-the-wire isn't really that new, being that most motorcycles, like the Harleys, years ago, the Harley-Davidson motorcycles went by what they call fly-by-the-wire technology for the throttle on the motorcycles. And so they even claim that airplanes have been using fly-by-the-wire for many, many years, and it's really fail-proof. So that's one of the things that Tesla, or the Cybertruck, is the first to bring to market as a fly-by-wire steering vehicle. Somebody out there may be, well, there is something else out there, I don't know. But that's the pitch. So that you now have a total computer-operated vehicle, and you're basically, there's no mechanism connected to the front tires, front assembly of the car to actually steer it. It's all being done through the computer. So, wow, right? How do you feel about that? And then the car, the Cybertruck, of course, has the four-wheel steering. It has the air suspension. It has up to a 17-inch adjustable air ride height. If you want to go do the, the backwooden, whatever you're going to be doing. Of course, it has all-terrain tires on it. And what else is unique to that vehicle about its architecture, besides the rear wheel steering and that is coordinated with the front wheel, of course, and then also at lower speeds, the actual yoke, the steering wheel, it isn't a yoke, but the steering wheel, it was to be a yoke in the original concept truck. The vehicle changes its steering habits where it's not as sensitive as in lower speeds, and how you can actually take and get a better turning radius. So when you're going from lane to lane at higher speeds, it's not that actually sensitive where you oversteer the car and it turns into like, whoa, yikes. So, and then what else? What else were the highlights of the Cybertruck unveil? As we got the crazies out here, there's a guy in a Beamer that's driving like a race truck guy. He's gonna crash somebody before the day's over, probably. It's a rainy, it's kind of a wet day, and he's in a hurry. Who doesn't know these stories, right? Who doesn't live on the roads where it's challenging because of others' maneuvers and behaviors? I can only imagine the truck is like a tank and a crash. I mean, Tesla is known for having, per se, the safest crash vehicle in the market. So, but keep in mind, these Tesla cars are extremely expensive, and yes, they have come down in price, but you have to always wonder if the business model always was to keep the price very high because they didn't have competition. I mean, that's what's intriguing to me. All of a sudden, Tesla is dropping the price of their cars by not 10 grand, but 20 grand, 30 grand. I mean, it's big. And you have to say to yourself, what's going on? Well, we know what's going on. It's the competitors are showing up, and at the same time, I think it's a maneuver for Elon Musk trying to show the competition that he can build cars far cheaper than they can, and don't play with me. That's just Elon Musk, in my eyes, the arrogant type of views. But I mean, arrogant people, you have to be arrogant in so many ways to accomplish what Elon Musk has accomplished, because he's not a weak individual. This guy is just going to continue to do what he wants to do and pound his fists so the things are done the way he wants them to do, and that's what creates success. It pisses a lot of people off, but that's the difference of leaders and followers. But the whole point is, he's going to show the industry that he can even get cheaper on his cars, because in all sincereness, He always was really a less expensive car, but he always knew he could have a very high selling price car, because what was your options 10 years ago for a Tesla? 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 7 years ago, 4 years ago? You didn't have many options. So in this DC area, Teslas are everywhere. I mean, this is like the California baby boom of Teslas, as this area to me is diversifying so much more into the California West Coast high-tech techie area more than ever. And so I see Teslas all day long. And the Model Y is the most dominant car, and that's the number one selling car right now in the world because of the affordability of it, and it's the crossover style vehicle. Unlike the Model X, that in so many ways has been a flop, it's just too expensive a car, and it's only for the select few. So, for truck, you've got the longer range battery pack suitcase you can put in the truck. The truck has the air ride suspension. The truck has incredible power. The truck has all-wheel steering. The truck has bulletproof doors. Okay. So you start thinking, if you're Ford, if you're Ram, if you're Chevy, what's your position? You know, what are you going to do? Or do you just feel like it's truly a niche product? It's going to be X amount of people flock to that vehicle, and then it just dissipates. So much like what we've witnessed with the Ford Lightning truck and the Ford Mustang Mach-E. You had this group of people that wanted these things, but the media machine kind of made it feel like everybody wanted one, but no, not really everybody wanted one. It was just that select group of people wanting these things. And then once you go through this group of people, the lights turn off. And in so many ways, I think that Cybertruck will probably go through the same thing. You're going to have just that group of people, whether it's 500,000 people, 1 million people, whatever it may be, that are going to go after these things, and then eventually it just simmers down, or doesn't, as Elon Musk continues to be in the spotlight like never seen in his lifetime for so many reasons. It's interesting. Yesterday I got my YouTube analytical, your YouTube, congratulations, 10,000 subscribers. And then it was like, they gave me a link to post it on Twitter, which isn't Twitter, it's X. And in so many ways, I was like, do I really want to post, on Twitter and X? Because it opens up the door to just so many different, more unique personalities. And I know that there's just select people that watch my channel because they're motorheads. And they're truly the ice heads, I think. And then you go into the Twitter side, and you're going to get into more of the greeny heads, So, but I'm just not big on Twitter, so I can't see that really going anywhere. But here we are, to the Ted Britt Ford of Fairfax to do another. So I think this will be my second time I've driven the 37. I just can't remember. I don't think I've driven the 37 at Coonswell Ford. I just don't think I have. Maybe I have. I don't know. And once again, I'm going to go by and drive the truck. But yeah, how does it all play out? I don't know. I'd have to say that the odds are it doesn't play out because of the dynamics of the constant challenge of the finance companies of what can I give up for that truck. And so many people I know would say the F-250, I wouldn't do it, and because it's your tow vehicle. But the new Power Boost that I have is my tow vehicle. It can tow in so many ways everything I need it to tow that's in my property. Does it tow as good as this does? Not necessarily, but does it accomplish the job? It does. I mean, it does a great job on the Power Boost I'm talking about. It does a great job on being able to handle a lot of things. I've always said the Power Boost in so many ways is the F-250 in disguise from so many years ago. This is such a crappy road. But also, this truck, this is a beefy truck. this is a truck that, you know, bounces you around because it's the F-250 suspension. And only negative on this truck is the guy that put the curly front suspension on it. Why he put a 1-ton rear suspension on his truck makes no sense to me. But it does. This guy had this truck, I think it was a roofing contractor, and I just think he put that heavy-duty rear suspension to enable him to be able to tow more. But at the same time, this whole curly package up front end, it's like two different, it's the opposites. I mean, the guy, to me, I'd be like, so he spent all this money in the front end of this truck to beef it up to be the off-road badass curly package, but then yet you put a 1-ton suspension in the back of it that makes this truck stiff as all get out and bounces all over the place. How would this truck handle the back end, backwoods? I think he would be bounced around and beat up like you can't believe because of that back end. So it makes no sense. You know, there's more money than sense. No doubt in my mind that guy that did this had money. So, you know, whatever. I'm sure he's like, yeah, whatever. So kind of guy here want to do that and this. Do we get a little sunshine? So my thoughts are to make the first part of this video this morning of me going to the dealership, and then I'm going to cut it off, and then I'm going to have a whole second part because it'll just be such a long video. Or it'll have to be 20-30 minutes. I'm sure I'm at 20 plus minutes, if not 30 already. So yeah, it's interesting to see the perspective of other journalists and car enthusiasts about this new Cybertruck. And earlier I was talking about this guy Jason that was so much into bragging about how great the Cybertruck is and how archaic the automotive competitors of GM, Ford, you know, they're so archaic in their ways of building things. And I think, but Jason, do you understand that Elon Musk took advantage of the incompetence of the governing bodies that have enriched him like you can't believe? Being, you know who enriched Tesla? Ice Age. The Ice Age has had to pay Elon Musk billions of dollars for all this infrastructure that he's created on his own because of the carbon footprint penalties, where General Motors, Stellantis, you know, the Ram, Jeep, Ford, Mercedes-Benz, BMW, they've all paid into the Elon Musk carbon footprint tax credits over the last 10 years. And so this has been huge, you know, sums of money for Tesla to reap the rewards from the individuals such as the Ice Age people that are paying through their nose now for ICE vehicles to, in so many ways, enrich the Teslas and the electric, you know, infrastructure that's being built out. So it's a no-brainer, Jason, that, hey, the reason that Ford and General Motors and these other companies haven't been able to accomplish what Tesla has is because they're having to pay all these stupid-ass carbon footprint penalties to Tesla. And if they don't pay them to him, they pay even higher penalties to the government. So it's a one-sided game. I mean, it's really bad. But that's what you're dealing with when people don't really delve in to understand how Elon Musk has milked the system like nobody's ever done. The guy's a magician. I give Elon Musk credit, all the credit in the world, for understanding how to suck the money out of other people's wallets and to enrich himself. And he's done an excellent job of it. And so, wow. Yeah, do you understand? Does anybody understand what I just said? I mean, sincerely, do you understand that if you're a major automotive company and you're not meeting these net zero emission guidelines, you're paying huge penalties by the hundreds of millions of dollars every year to the governments, or you elect to write a check to Tesla. And this is why Tesla has become so, has stayed in business, number one. If it wasn't for that carbon footprint tax credit that Elon Musk receives for all these other ICE automotive manufacturers, there's no way Tesla Tesla never would have made it. They never made it. So there's your answer, Mr. Jason, of why they have the resources and the monies, unlike the other big guys, on the dynamics. There's a lot of variables there. It gets heavy and deep, but there you go. I'm getting to the Raptor, the Cyber Raptor truck day. How about that? And I should have gone by the Tesla dealer and Tyson's Corner and see that a Cybertruck, my gut instinct is if they did, that place is packed. But people standing around the building like a Black Friday if people want to buy toys to try to get a look at that truck. I'm just like, nope, I'll pass. Wow, the sun is breaking through for the Iceman to have an adventure in the Raptor truck. Yeah, this truck here, look at this here. This truck hauls butt. I mean, it hauls butt, man. This diesel, I mean, they know. Anybody has this diesel power stroke, you know these things are just torque monsters. And they haul butt. Yeah, I'd like to see a real tow with that Cybertruck. I mean, you know, it towed probably about 5,000, 6,000 pounds. You know, okay. All right. Let's see it pull its so-called 11,000 pounds. Is that what it is? Pretty sure it's 11,000 pounds. Let's see how it does pulling 11,000 pounds. With a full enclosed trailer, that's where it all changes. Open trailers is one story. Closed trailers, where you have that all that energy, that wall, that mass of that wall of air hitting that trailer. That's a huge different thing. Even the Ford rep guy even told me when I met a guy in my F-150 Lightning down there in Southern Virginia when I was doing that tow video, summer of 2022. It was like June. You need to watch that video. And I met the Ford guy that had his own personal F-150 truck, and he totally he was like, towing that motorcycle trailer like you have, you're going to be so limited to how far you go. He said if you had a dump trailer or a low profile trailer behind this thing, he's like, night and day on how much further you'd go. So, but what is the most people buy these trucks to tow things are usually campers or enclosed trailers. They're not typically landscape trailers, if you know what I mean. So that's where the real deal will really be for me, to see the person that tows a 10,000 pound car hauler with a car in it, and let's see how far you go. Let's see what the story is then. What is that range? For the Ford Lightning, it's a 0.8 miles, not even 1 mile per kilowatt. Okay, so I've had many videos and conversations on that. All right, lots of talk, lots of conversation. I just really got excited at 2 a.m. this morning watching all these videos till 5 o'clock this morning on this new Cybertruck, and I thought it's got to be the Cybertruck Raptor day. Wow. And 24 hours later, I am back at Ted Britt Ford Fairfax. This used to be my old stomping grounds out of high school. I used to work right up the street, and here you are. So, and where do we park this big ass truck, right? That's always the challenge, is where do you park the big ass truck? You got some spots here, or do we? Let's see. Not too shabby, right? Now, is this it? Is this the 37 Raptor? And so it's so hard to tell because these Raptor trucks are, I've had so many. I mean, I think it's the 37. Yes, it is. So I was right. So here's the thing. Does this just like go pop, bang, I want you? And so not, no razzle dazzle on the rear interior. I mean, spray in bed liner. 37 there. Definitely got to get rid of those things. What I would want, the retractable boards. So here it is, 85 grand. Now, you just go back a year ago, 2 years ago, and this thing, they'd be getting like 105, maybe 110 for his truck. They would definitely be getting 95. Typically, Raptors at 10 grand over. So this is a special order by somebody. And so you then have to say, what happened? Why did this person walk away? So look at that truck over there. Yeah, I mean, for me, if I could finagle a deal of getting his truck without getting rid of that truck, I would love to do that, because I've always wanted 37. It would so go with my Raptor Bronco, and just be really badass. But here's what's so interesting is, this has an October sticker on it. So this truck came in October. So what happened? You know, what happened to this truck? Did a guy, you know, spend a month trying to buy this truck? I mean, what's going on? Was there something wrong with the truck? So let's go inside here to Ted Britt Ford of Fairfax, Virginia, where this is where I, for the most part, grew up after I got out of high school, and spent a lot of time in this area. I used to work right down the road from here. So let's get in here and talk to John, my friend. And where is everybody, right? Is this going to be a happening day here? Mach-E's. They got a whole upper deck of vehicles. So let's go in the showroom here. Let's see. There is the man, Brad. And there's the other man, and there's the plaid man. He will always remember. He always makes me think of the plaid Tesla, where he got out and we did the plaid Tesla. You had that used one, guy traded right back in right after you.
It was pre-owned, Gary.
Right.
We use a terminology pre-owned here.
Yeah.
Not used.
Oh, pre-owned. Okay, so he's now the pre-owned GSM. So he now has a different look and attitude about those used cars. They're more special. Pre-owned. Oh, I failed again. All right, I'll turn off the video so I don't embarrass everybody here. So I've got Shaq here at the Ted Britt Ford, who was it? I know him from Kuhn Sterling Ford as well. They all know me because they follow other people and they follow successful people. So let's give her a start up and let's just get the rumble as it goes down into the ditch. But you know, it's so interesting here. What do you know about this vehicle? Because this vehicle was brought in like in October. Why did this vehicle sit? Do you even know anything about this vehicle?
I don't.
You do or do not?
No, I don't.
It's so strange.
Yeah, if it's brought in, that company should have been sold already because they got the 37 package, everybody wants it, you know?
Right, and it was a custom order by a customer. But it came...
Most likely it was waiting for the customer and the customer couldn't buy it.
But it goes to October. Look here. This truck was PDI'd in October. So you're talking 2 months. 2 months. Maybe a month and a half.
Waiting for the customer and he couldn't purchase. That's why it's sitting.
Okay. All right. So what's nice about this truck, it's not too crazy in the price. They didn't get too crazy on all the carbon fiber and all the special interior. So you know you can get this truck in like a $92,000, $95,000 range.
That's correct.
Which I like about this. It's not like that. And I had the exact same 22 Raptor, but the 35's not the 37.
Not the 37.
And I traded that this past spring for a Power Boost, which I love. All right, so can I get in the vehicle?
Sure.
Okay, you got the key. All right, you want me to pull it up so you get the tag in the back?
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, let's do that.
And get in here, and so already kind of getting a heads up of what's going on here. And make sure it's in drive and not reverse, because otherwise, guess what would happen? This guy here would be down the hill with the truck, and we don't want that, right? So, all right, so low fuel. So everything here is pretty much the same, but interesting. It's a September build truck, but I do like how it's simple. I just don't want the radical thing. I'll tell you, man, I really just don't want to. I just really want this truck, and then it goes something else down the road. Look at this here. So you got your shifters. This is not the Raptor R. I'm sure some people are like, man, I really can't believe. Got to go to the auto setting. I really just can't believe that you're not on the Raptor R page. It's just too much money. A lot of people say, why aren't you buying the Ram TRX? I can't get the financial institutions to buy the deal. So, you know, because this is right there. Well, in all reality, this still is 15 grand less than a Ram TRX. So even though it's brand new, and because I really want a Ram TRX, but the problem is it's getting the numbers to work, and these guys, even used, are still getting 100 grand for these Ram TRXs that are optioned out pretty well. You're going to be at 88 to 95 on a Ram TRX. Okay, I've lived in this area, so I think I know where I'm going. Unless you, unless you want me to go do something special for you, and what I'll do is I'll be.
Did you want me to gas it up for you real quick?
Nah, we're not going to go that far. Okay. I figure we'll go up here. We'll run it up 66, and then we'll. You know, so this thing here, power's nice. So this 37-inch tire right now, we're not even in the sport mode. So I have the power boost, and the danger of the power boost is that it's such a torquey truck with that electric motor. This guy here is gonna probably crashes. Wow, that guy's so out of control. Yeah, that'd be the story. Test drive, just totaled a freaking Prius. Anyways, so the this truck here, I'm taken back with a 37-inch tire package that this thing actually is getting up the road as quickly as it does. And I've driven the Ram TRX numerous times. I've tried to pull off a deal numerous times. It never plays out. Does this play out? I'd say it's 50-50. But so far, really cool. I just love the 37-inch tire package. Yep. And you know, anymore, you just have to say to yourself, how much longer does it last? I mean, how many more years does Ford continue to bring the ice to the market with the big beefy tires before things start to change? Nothing lasts forever, and it then goes to more of the hybrid setup, which wouldn't be bad on this vehicle. It would be pretty badass, and I'm sure that's the next phase of where the truck's going. As always, the Raptor truck is so comfortable. I mean, I like the Raptor truck over the Ram TRX on the interior layout, and I like the Ram, I should say the Raptor truck. I just like the truck overall better than the Ram TRX, but then I love the Ram TRX when you get into the power side of it, because it does have that really cool power. And in all fairness to Ram TRX, I mean, it does have a really nice interior. But this here, I'm not even in the sport mode, and I mean, this truck gets up the road like, I mean, there's not, thing's not even struggling. We're not even in the sport mode. And so now you have 37-inch size tires. Now, I know from being a huge Ford enthusiast, that's real deal there. That is real mileage. I've run my truck down to like, no lie, to like 1 mile. And when you go to the gas station, and it takes every bit of that. You know, I had this happen going down my Ford Expedition, where I ran it down to like nothing, because you always think in the old days that the vehicle would have still more miles to it. But that's what the old days of analog gauges, you would say, oh, it says empty, but I still have 2-3 gallons. No, when this thing says you have like 2 miles left, you're going to find out you maybe had 1/8 of a gallon of gas in that vehicle. I mean, that's real stuff. Ask me how I know. So, but anyways, 37-inch tire package. This is just like my Raptor in so many ways, but it's quieter because it has a more angled windshield. And the nice thing about me in my life is I own the Ford vehicles, so you're so used to everything in the dimensions. So the confidence level when I drive this truck is extremely high because I have the power boost. It's the same truck in so many aspects of the cockpit. I have the F-250 tremor, F-350, F-450. It's all the same cockpit. It's all the same controls. So you're always, you know, on the page that you're very familiar with your environment and how to drive the truck and not get confused. Because that happens today with all this technology.
That's correct. Yeah.
And years ago, this truck felt so big because it's a wider package truck with suspension, the body flares, fenders. But now, for me, owning so many of these, this would be like my 4th Raptor if I bought this vehicle since the fall of 2017. It'd be my 2nd Raptor purchase from actually the Ted Britt Ford organization. And see that? I mean, just gets right up like nothing. And yeah, I know the Ram TRX guys, you're like, oh, but my thing will smoke that thing. It will, but it's a big ass truck. Till you drive this truck, and you hit 100 miles an hour, you just don't really understand. This isn't a Mustang. I mean, you're not slowing down. You know, it's just a whole different ball game. And just how long can you continue just to nail it in your Ram TRX? Yeah, I know, I want one. I hear you. Will I have one? I probably will. Hey, why can't I have a Raptor as well? And here we are, the Saturday morning drivers right here in front of us, which that's what it takes is patience. So wow, love this truck. You know, I'm sorry.
You gotta give it some gas.
Oh, I know. I already know it. I already know. Yeah, no, I know. But I know the truck really well, and I already know. And that's what I'm trying to do, though. I'm trying to show those who are watching my channel right now, we're in the regular mode, and this truck gets down the road very nice, it's very comfortable, and that's a statement, because some of these vehicles, like a Toyota Tacoma, the previous generation now Tacoma, those V6 motors were the worst. They literally were terrible. We just met the slowest person today that's driving a car that is obviously, so we can do this here. We can now go to the sports side. Is it the sports side? Is it in this truck here? I can't tell. Nope, I can't even see what it says. So it's so unfortunate here. I don't even know where we are. Is it to the right?
There you go, yep, to the right.
It's to the right. I don't know. Where is it now?
4x4.
No, see, this is where it gets this is where it gets very confusing. Where is the sport?
Yep.
Yeah, there it is. Okay, so now the exhaust opened up. Okay, you heard that, right?
Yeah.
And so here we are. And see, this is one thing about these trucks, even for me. But the problem is my Bronco Raptor is the opposite. Okay, so the Bronco Raptor dialing switch is opposite from the Ford Bronco. This gets confusing up here. And the reason it gets confusing up here is they redid this whole road on how you get in. So now I am in the sport mode, and this truck is getting down the road like nothing. Okay. It's just. This is nothing. So it's a lot of fun. And for me, you know, the truck isn't broken in. So for me, I'm just like, hey, do I want to rag it? Not yet. I'd prefer to get a little mileage on it before I but I know the truck. And I'm really impressed with the 37-inch tire package, because when you go from a 35 to 37, that's a lot more tire, and you would really think this truck would be more of a dog. Now, I do know from all the journalists, car automotive enthusiasts, if you're really doing the back off-roading, you're better off buying the 35, because it is a little bit more aggressive. So if anybody out there is watching my channel and they're on the page, maybe I should get a 37 Raptor, and I'd say, what are you doing with it? And if they said to me, I'm really doing a lot of back road and a lot of off-roading, I would say keep it to 35, because it's a little quicker vehicle. 37, I think, is more about, look at me, I got the big 37s, you know, it's just it's the beefy, brawny, it's, you know, the muscle. That's what it's all about, you know. Now, does the Cybertruck look better than this? I'm sorry. I spent last night 3 hours of watching the Cybertruck videos in depth of everything on that Cybertruck. And that's what my whole YouTube channel today conversation is. I'm calling it the Cyber Raptor Truck Day. Meaning, we're going to talk about the Cybertruck, we're going to talk about the Raptor truck. And when I'm sharing the Cybertruck, there's no instrumentation here. Everything is over here. So it's totally nothing here. On the Cybertruck, the windshield borderline goes to the front of the grill. Already individuals talk about you can't see the front end of the truck. So it's kind of hard to kind of know your bearings of that front of that truck. Okay? I've told people, in this Raptor truck, unlike my Tremor truck, here's 2 cup holders. That's all you get in the Cybertruck. Here's 2 more. Here's another one. There's another one. So this has 2, 4, 6 cup holders. Cybertruck, just 2. The back seat area is as big, I think, as this truck here. It could be. I would say it's equal at best. I didn't see the under the seat storage thing. I'm sure you can buy one, but they didn't show that in the Cybertruck video. Or say a rear view mirror, like you do in this vehicle here, because of the rear tonneau cover or triple tonneau cover, that pretty much that takes away your whole looking through a back window to see what's behind you. You see everything through a screen. So I talk to people about how you have a peripheral view type of vehicle because you're constantly having to look over here. There's a little screen here for your rear view camera to see what's going on behind you. So you're looking at your dynamics of everything off the car to your right. So you're always kind of glancing to the right instead of being straight on of what you're paying attention to. All right, love the truck. These guys are being really cool because John's agreed to sell it at sticker. And I think the salesperson would be very sincere in this on saying people have been buying Raptor trucks. I'm not talking about the person in special order for himself, but a factory dealer order. How many get them at MSRP?
Zero.
Right.
Yep.
Right. I mean, so if you want to order one, the dealership here, if you want to order one, they will honor MSRP pricing.
Especially the 37. Nobody gets it like
right.
under a sticker.
Right. Right. So, but if you come to dealership and they ordered one, you're not going to get an MSRP. And the Raptors have always been the typically 10 grand or more over in the 35s, and 37s even getting more. So it's